Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you tune into this. Welcome to Testimony Tuesday with Hanisha. It has been some time since I have recorded a video on Tuesday. I just want to first and foremost say it is a gorgeous day. Well, at least where I'm at. The sun is shining. It is just a beautiful, blessed day. So I'm happy. I have no complaints. I mean, although I could complain a little bit, but I'm not. I'm not going to even waste the day and waste my energy complaining because guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it. And I don't even want to spend my energy even complaining today because it's so beautiful outside today. So I hope and pray wherever you are, I hope and pray you are enjoying your day. I hope and pray it is a beautiful, blessed day for you. Every day is a blessed day. Um, as long as you continue to wake up, it's a blessing. So every day is a blessed day. So that's at least that's how I like to look at it, and an outlook that I like to have, just to carry me through and get me through my days, But anyway, without all that rambling on, I want to talk to you about discernment, trusting yourself. How do you do that? So I have to put my disclaimers out there. I am not an expert. By no means. I am not an expert. I don't have all the answers, nor do I feel like you all are looking to me for the answers. I'm just simply here sharing my testimony with you, my experience, speaking from my walk and my journey, and just to testify how God or the Holy Spirit works in my life and how I am grateful for that, and to show my gratitude. This is why I created this platform, Testimony Tuesday with Hanisha, so that I can connect with you and hopefully inspire you and encourage you to just continue on your walk and your journey, and just be thankful and grateful that you are even here to do this thing called life, and maybe encourage you to share your testimony, because like I said, we are all blessings to one another, and we can all learn from one another. And I think in doing so, that is a blessing. So, okay, discernment. How do you discern, or how do you use that spirit of discernment? Um, I think for me, it's really learning how to trust myself, because as I expressed in a previous video, we all have that divine spark in us, meaning God is in us. We come from God, right? If you believe that we are all God's children, we come from Him. So in our DNA, there lies God. Okay, He is in all of us, here in our heart space and our mind, body, and spirit, right? And so for me, learning to trust myself is trusting God. Trusting God is trusting myself. Now, let me clarify that I am not saying that I am God Almighty and that I make all this magical, stuff happen, or I perform miracles and things. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that I have His divine essence in me, right? Because I come from Him. We all do. And so me learning how to trust myself and make sound decisions for myself is me trusting God, and vice versa. Okay, I just want to clarify that before y'all start jumping all over me like, oh, what you trying to say, she God? No, I'm not trying to say that, okay? Um, but how do you get to that point where you trust God, where you are trusting your inner that inner voice, or your instincts, or as they refer to it as trusting your gut feeling, because that gut feeling is nothing but God speaking to you, through you, for you. Again, that inner nudge, that inner voice, that gut feeling is God speaking to you, through you, and for you. And so, how do you learn how to trust yourself? Because I know a lot of times, and again, I like to speak for myself, or maybe some people that I know personally, who have shared stories with me. There may, let me slow down. There may be a situation where you are faced with a decision. It's like, should I go to the left? Should I go to the right? What should I do? And you just like, and maybe it was a similar situation that happened in the past. And you're like, this last time this popped up in my life, I went left and the outcome just wasn't a good one. It wasn't a positive outcome. And so you're kind of apprehensive, skeptical of yourself, your decision making. And you may even be, operating out of fear too, because you're fearful of making the same mistake again, right? Because you want to get it right. I know I do. I want to get this thing right if I can. God willing, I do. Because you don't want to repeat some of the same like hard lessons, especially if they are hard lessons that we all have to go through sometimes, right? So you begin to question yourself. And sometimes, you may be able to have that little grace period where you can go and sit with yourself and pray about it and ask God to guide you and give you the answer or lead you in the right direction as far as what decision should be made for that particular situation. But let's say it's a situation where you don't have that grace period. You don't have that time. You have to make a decision like that right on the spot. Sometimes those mistakes are necessary for your growth. And again, I spoke about hard lessons, right? Because I know that all too well. I have had a series of hard lessons throughout my life so far, and I'm sure I may have some more. I'm praying that they're a little lighter, so I can get through them a little bit easier, but that just may not be the case, right? So, even in that, like, you have to make a decision, right? And so you make that decision, and guess what? The outcome again is not good. You're like, damn, I made the wrong decision. But as time goes on, right? Even in you making that wrong decision, guess what happens? Things work out. And things work out for you. Things work out for the other people that's involved in that situation. Things work out for your highest good and for everyone involved in that situation, right? And that may be over time, and maybe you don't realize that or see that in that moment, or maybe in 2 months or 3 months or whatever. You may not see that quickly, but over time everything works out for your highest good. I look back on some of the decisions that I have made for my life, and I'm like, girl, had I known what I know now, like back then, yeah, I probably would have did some things differently. But if I had that ability to go back and undo some of the things that I did or make a different decision, that definitely would alter the course of my life. And would I be the woman that I am today? Maybe not. I feel like things happen for us. A lot of times, and I think I spoke about that before, it always feels like life is happening to us. And that, yes, it is in a sense, but it is happening for you as well. And everything works out. It works out. And then you may even look back and say, you know what? I'm glad I made that decision, because actually I'm better off than I thought I would be, So that's trusting yourself, not operating out of fear, being bold and being confident and being courageous in who you are as a person. And so I think that will enable you to make good decisions for yourself or for your loved ones. Just really leaning on that, trusting yourself, listening to God. And so this would not be right if I didn't share my testimony, right? So, oh my God, I hate these commercials. And I don't know that's a strong word. I shouldn't say hate, but it's like always, always. They always do this to me. So I'm gonna try to. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. But anywho, like I said, this will not be right if I didn't share my testimony. So, going back to a time in my life before I decided to open up my business, right? And so, the first job that I was working, I was making decent money, and I needed to go back to school to obtain my license. And so I was faced with the decision, do I do this now or do I put this off some more? But it was like I felt this inner nudge in this, like, it was like I had to do it now. But I had to make sacrifices, that cut my income down, me going back to school. However, I was able to pay for it. That was a blessing and that was a good thing. But it reduced my income. And so I had to lean on hubby to, hold us down during that time. And that was for several months. And I love and appreciate him for that. Like I said, I'm not doing this on my own. I proudly acknowledge my support system and everyone that's in my life who loves on me, who supports me, and who helps me through this life journey. But that was the decision that I was faced with, and there was other sacrifices too. I don't want to be so long-winded, naming all of the sacrifices that I had to make, but I had a decision to make. And so if I had decided to put off schooling, now that's not to say that I would have never opened up my business. No, it's not saying that, but I wouldn't have been able to open my business at the time that I did, which was it was a blessing. I was able to open my business on my mom's birthday. Everything aligned perfectly. And I'm not going to say it was a perfect situation because it wasn't. Was the circumstances perfect? Hell no. Or heck no. They wasn't perfect. It was like hurdles that I had to jump over and obstacles in the way. And I was even scared that I wouldn't be able to open it on mom's birthday because, I had to get everything approved through City Hall and all kind of stuff, right? And, they canceled an appointment on me and then I had to reschedule. So it was one thing after another. And so I started to question, man, is this right? Maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe I did this and that wrong. I don't know. But in the long run, it worked out. And I can proudly say that I've been in business going on 4 years now. So I made the right decision. And I can confidently say that I feel like I made the right decision because everything else after that unfolded for me. God created a way out of no way a lot of times for me. And that's not to say that I don't still encounter challenges or some struggles with my business or, my professional life or even personal life. That's just a part of this life thing, right? So I just want to encourage you to trust yourself. And again, I asked the question earlier, how do you do that? And so I can share with you in some of the ways that I do that through prayer. A lot of people underestimate the power of prayer because maybe you've prayed for something for years and you have not yet received it. So that could be a couple of things. Maybe what you're praying for is not in your best interest. And I know that's hard to accept sometimes. And I've gone through that myself. We may have strong desires and wants. And we may even feel like, God, what I'm praying about, I feel like this will be great for me and this will help me. And it just may not be conducive for you or for the people that's involved. And again, that's not always revealed to us quickly. That may be revealed over time. And then you'll look back and say, you know what, I'm glad I didn't even God didn't even listen to that. Or not that he didn't listen, but he didn't give me what I wanted, what I was asking for, because turns out I didn't need it. It wasn't good for me, you know. So that could be one thing, or it could just be really a timing thing, divine timing. Maybe it's not time yet. Listen, I had dreams of being an entrepreneur, of owning my own business, from being a baker to what else did I want to do? I wanted to be an entertainer, an actress, a singer. I even wanted to be a ballet dancer when I was young though. I quickly grew out of that. But and not knocking that, it just, my body type, all that stuff. It didn't work out. That wasn't for me. So excuse me. It everything works out for your highest good. Sometimes I get sidetracked, so y'all please forgive me. But everything works out. And that's what I was talking about, divine timing. It does. It works out in God's divine timing. And so that could be it too. And I think with my particular situation, I think had God blessed me to, with the resources a little earlier on in my life, it might not have been such a good thing. Maybe I wouldn't have been in business as long, because that's one thing, learning that money is a tool and that you can use it to work for you and to create other streams of income. Like, I wasn't privy to that, and I know my parents talked to me about money, and you got to save, you got to do this. But unfortunately, in some of our communities, that information is just not ready, available to us. It's not handed to us. You have to do a lot of digging, a lot of research. Hopefully you'll stumble across someone who's willing to share some information with you, or to point you in the right direction where you can find other resources. I had to learn how to not use my own money, and I'm still learning that. So had he blessed me with a business when I was younger and I had no idea about those things, I had no knowledge of those things, I probably would have been in business probably less than a year, or maybe a year if that. So I'm thankful that I trust in him, that my faith never wavered. My trust in him never wavered. Do I get frustrated? Absolutely. Do I get upset? Absolutely. I'm human, okay? I'm not sitting up here in front of y'all acting like I'm perfect and I have it all together and I don't ever get mad and my life is just grand. It's great all the time and I'm positive all the time. No, I'm not sitting up here portraying that. I'm not putting on that type of facade that everything is okay. And on a side note, speaking of that, I want to just say this. It's okay not to be okay. And that is for another topic, for another day. Talking about mental health and not just, when people hear mental health, they think, oh my Lord, you must be crazy. No, it doesn't have anything to do with you being crazy or out of your mind. Your mental health, just like your physical health or your physical well-being, your mental well-being is so important and so vital to your existence, to a healthy existence. It's okay not to be okay. And so me saying that is saying, I'm not always okay. I don't always feel great. I'm not always like Miss Positive all the time, even though I strive to be. That is just not the case for me. And so I want to be transparent as possible. And in me being transparent, I can inspire you and I can relate to you. First and foremost, me being transparent, you can relate to me because I'm a real person. I'm not just this spokesperson or this personality that you see in front of you trying to sell you something or trying to push something on you or project something, this image. This is me, authentically me. I have my days where I cry and I question things. And I'm not always sure of things. But one thing that I am sure of is that God always makes a way for me. And sometimes he makes a way out of no way. And I'm like, how did he? Okay, I'm not going to question that. He did it. Thank you. Praise him. Thank you. So I don't question that, how he works, whatever he does. I'm thankful. I praise him and I thank him and I'm grateful, and I try to live my life in a way that exemplifies my gratitude and my love, right? And so I think, how do you do that? That's one way. And I think a great way to learn how to trust yourself, you know, learn how to be more discerning. If you go somewhere and the energy in that room is feeling off, and something, that inner voice or something in you is telling you, leave now. And it could be just straightforward like that, leave now. you know, Honor that, listen to that, because that is God speaking to you, through you, for your highest good. So trust that. Don't second guess yourself. All the answers really are inside. Now, that's not to say that you can't go to a trusted source. Maybe it could be mom, or maybe if you have a counselor, or you have some type of confidant, a friend, even a trusted friend, and you may just want to get their opinion, or maybe you're seeking confirmation. And God speaks through other people and things and signs and all kinds of things, right? Um, but all the answers are inside. Trust yourself. Know that God is your anchor. He's always guiding you. He is like that inner compass. Trust that. So when you get that gut feeling, or you get that inner nudge, or you hear that inner voice, listen. Listen. Don't second guess it. Listen. Because it will lead you in the right direction, and it will help guide you and help you along this journey, and help you make sound decisions for yourself. And so that's a way that I do it. Definitely heavily through prayer and putting that to practice. Like I say, I don't just dish out advice, I take my own advice. So if I go somewhere and the energy is off and I'm like, this don't feel right, I politely excuse myself without any explanation. You don't have to explain to people. If there is a situation where there's a contract involved, I read over it, and if I still have questions, or if I'm like, something in me is like, this might not be right, I listen to that. Don't sign on the dotted line. So just learn how to trust yourself and put it in practice. Like I say, we have to move in our faith. And so if I say I trust God, and I believe that he is my anchor and that he is guiding me, I have to trust that, and I have to walk in that, and I have to move in that, and my life has to exemplify that. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Being trusting yourself and praying for the power, or that spirit of discernment. So I hope and pray that the time that you spent watching this, I hope and pray it has blessed you. First and foremost, I pray that it has inspired you, and I pray that it has encouraged you to learn how to trust yourself and pray for that spirit of discernment and move in that. And may your life exemplify that. And may you pass that down to your loved ones, or your friends, or your community, the people in your community, because we have to remember that too. As God continue to bless us and put us in certain positions, we have to do what? We have to reach back. Reach back. Grab someone's hand, pull someone else, or pull someone else up. That's what we have to do. And I'm not going to say that people don't do that, that's in a position to do that. But I think we should try to practice that a little bit more. And I'm not just saying that you should. That applies to me as well. So this is a way of me reaching back, pulling somebody up. This is my way of doing that. And I'm sure that God will guide me to do that more in other ways. And I'm open. I'm all for it, right? Because that's my ultimate prayer is for me to be a blessing to others, to be his humble servant, and to inspire as many people as I can and encourage as many people as I can just by being me. And in that way, hopefully that encourage you to be and be proud to be authentically you. Um, and that will bless other people as well. So, anywho, that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Again, I hope and pray that wherever you are at this time watching this video, I hope and pray that you are well. I hope and pray that you have good health. I just pray that you're having a good day overall. And even if you're not, know that it does not, that, look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow may be a brighter day for you. It gets better. It does. And I have to remind myself of that too. So I want to wish you all much peace, love, and light. And I look forward to seeing you all or speaking to you all next week, next Tuesday. Like I said, I know there is some transitions going on in my professional life, and so not really sure if I can commit to every Tuesday, but I'm going to strive to. So again, I look forward to speaking with you all next Tuesday. That is the goal. Until then, I want to wish you all much peace, love, and light again, and many blessings. Peace.